I'm a 20-year-old girl, 162 centimeters tall, and I weigh about 110 pounds. The story begins in 2022. When I was 17, just about to turn 18, before graduating high school, I joined a Facebook group for my university. I started a group chat with 6 other people. Everyone was chatting happily in there. When it came time to pick roommates, a girl named Xiaoman wanted to room with me. I was excited that someone actually wanted to be my roommate. We talked a lot via text and phone calls, but I hadn't met her in person yet. Orientation arrived pretty quickly. Xiaoman and I finally met. She didn't look like the type who would kill me, so I still felt confident about my choice of roommate. We kept on chatting. Soon, it was time to move into the dorms. There's one thing I should mention. I had a boyfriend named Boo. We started dating back in May. I planned to break up with him before school started in September, but he wouldn't let me. Xiaoman knew about Boo, but they'd never met. Sometimes she'd just hear his voice over the phone, but that was it. I decided to move into school a week early. That way we could get everything settled. Day 1. I took the bus to the local department store to buy supplies. That's when I met Jason. My friend Adam knew him. When Adam introduced me to Jason, we became best friends instantly. Since Jason and I were both in relationships, we kept things strictly platonic. A few weeks later, Jason and I were together every day, in each other's rooms, walking to class together, even eating together, just walking around our new town. Some of our friends would joke that we were dating. We even started playfully making kissy faces in front of them. But Xiaoman seemed a bit jealous. One night, she and a friend followed Jason and me to go swimming. They didn't swim, they just watched us jump in, then swam back. But I didn't think much of it. A few days later, Xiaoman and her friend Xiaona, Jason and I went to the department store to get some room decor. While they were walking ahead, Jason and I were making faces at each other. We'd been joking around all day, saying we were too chicken to actually kiss. So I made the first move. I kissed him right there in the store. Just a peck, but I knew I was in love with him. But thinking about Boo, I felt terrible. I vented to my roommate, saying I didn't know what to do. Turns out, she texted Jason's girlfriend. She also made me call Boo and tell him everything, saying if I didn't, she would. She was acting like she'd been my best friend for years. Then she took my phone and blocked me from leaving the room to see Jason. She unlocked my phone and blocked Jason on everything. I tried to fight back, but she was bigger and stronger than me. She said she wouldn't give it back until I calmed down. So I pretended to be calm, but I had to sneak out of my own room. When that loud door slammed shut, she noticed. She chased me down the hall, grabbed me by the hair, and dragged me back to our room. We bumped into other people in the hallway. It was so embarrassing. Later, Jason and I had a class together. We started talking over the next few days. He told me his girlfriend said if she found out we were together again, she'd leave him. He didn't want to lose me as a friend, and neither did I. So we went back to sneaking around. Finally, I broke up with my boyfriend. About a week later, Jason broke up with his girlfriend too. Then we started officially dating. I told my roommate, and she dropped that cliché line, once a cheater, always a cheater. Then she said, good luck. I just rolled my eyes, thinking, whatever. That night, I went to sleep like usual. Headphones on, music playing, facing the wall. I woke up feeling like someone was watching me. I pretended to shift in my sleep and turned over. I opened my eyes just a slit. She was right there, standing in the middle of the room, staring at me. I could only see her silhouette, but I just knew she was watching. Honestly, By morning, I'd totally forgotten about it. I figured I was dreaming. Jason and I hung out in each other's rooms constantly. Since we lived in the same building, this meant we'd come back to the room pretty late. Xiaoman didn't seem to mind. She started telling me it was our freedom. Whenever a guy came to the dorm, we'd always text each other to give a heads up. However, she always seemed to come in early, claiming she forgot or didn't see my text, even though I knew she saw it. But I get it, it's her room too. But if she had to come back, why not text me first? Whenever I texted her, she'd go around telling everyone. I remember one time her friend came in too. Before that, I asked if she minded if Jason occasionally stayed over. She said it was fine, which is why I did it. Jason and I often slept in each other's rooms, and it never bothered anyone. Until one night, Jason woke up while sleeping in my room and saw Xiaoman watching us. Jason and I were both kinda scared of her. This was the second time it happened. As time went on, she got weirder and weirder. We started avoiding each other a lot. I'd come home to find my things used or moved around. Plus, her side of the room was always a total mess. I'm not exactly a neat freak, but I was always cleaning up trash and doing laundry. And she wasn't. At the beginning of the semester, we made a roommate agreement. I said if she needed to, I didn't mind sharing makeup or clothes. She agreed. But soon after, I realized that wasn't what she meant. She must have memorized my schedule. Most nights after dance practice, I'd go eat at the cafeteria. One night, I wasn't hungry, so I went back to my room to drop off my dance bag. I walked in and noticed her expression was off. Then I saw mascara and hair dye stains on my desk. She and her friend would do other stuff to my things too. For example, they ruined the plastic flowers I used for decoration. They ripped them apart and scattered them all over my desk. They also drew weird diagrams on my board, writing things like, "The more you mess around, the more truth we find." They were seriously weird. Near the end of the year, Jason and I would go to my parents for dinner on weekends. Sometimes we'd stay over there. Once we stayed there for a whole week. I wanted to bring my laptop in case we stayed overnight, so I could do homework. But Jason wanted to beat the traffic out of school, so we left right after my dance practice ended. When I got back to school, I found my laptop was broken. I knew for a fact I didn't do it. I confronted Xiaoman, but she denied it. Then I had to go to class, so I texted her. I told her I hoped she'd just be honest. I wouldn't get mad. I wouldn't make her pay to fix it. I just wanted to know what happened. Then she got super aggressive with me. She started swearing at me and threatening me. I called my mom to ask her what she thought, because she's my best friend. I also asked my RA. They all told me to call the police. So I went to the police and told them everything. They must have called her into the station the next day, because that night, when I came out of the shower, a weird, aggressive friend of Xiaoman's followed me back to my room. I'd never seen her before. I was followed into my room, wearing nothing but a towel. She had to be Xiaoman's friend. She screamed at me, cursing me out. When I rushed to the door opposite the lounge, I saw my roommate and her friend. They yelled at me, calling me a rat and other nasty names. What a psycho, right? I called my boyfriend Jason, telling him to come to my room. He had just come out of the shower too, but he walked the other way to avoid them. What did Xiaoman actually want? My mom guessed she might have been obsessed with me. Others said she just didn't know how to be a roommate. I really don't know. The more I think about it, the less I get it. Later, Jason and I got engaged. We have a beautiful daughter. We're doing great now. Thanks for taking the time to listen to the story of my psycho roommate.
精神病室友的故事。